So after discussing concatenation in Python Pandas, we are now discussing merge in Python Pandas. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you are familiar with SQL queries, so in SQL queries we have joins. Okay. Let's say
Yeah.
these are our two tables. Let's say one is table black and one is table green, or call it table A, B, whatever you want to call it. So I will create four cases here. Okay. This is case 1, this is case 2, this is case 3, and this is case 4. So the first and the default join in SQL is inner join. Okay. So inner join means if two tables have some common data between them. Okay. So
Yeah.
first let's discuss what we are calling a common data. So we have this very famous database called Northwind database. Okay. This
Okay.
Northwind database is provided by SQL Server. So it is a very old database which is used in education of SQL, means for learning SQL. So in this database you can see we have categories of products, we have customers data, employees data, orders data, products data, and so on. Okay. So this is data about a sample trading company, you can say. So in this sample trading company, they trade products in these categories, right? Beverages, condiments, confections, dairy, grain, cereals, right? And every category has some ID. You are seeing it, right? Means
Yeah.
beverages has an ID of 1, condiments has ID of 2, confections 3, and so on. Now we have another table here that is called products table. Okay. So we are we are discussing this video considering that you have some ground knowledge of SQL. Okay. So
Yeah.
we have then this products table. In this products table you can see these are the columns, and here you will see a category ID column. Okay. So means this chai, which is a product, it is a beverages, right? It is a beverage, a hot beverage. It belongs to this beverages category. Okay. So if you will take your mouse on this beverages, you will see this. We are using PHP my admin tool here. Okay. PHP my admin can be used to, you know, do some database administration on MySQL databases. Okay. So
Okay.
as we have MySQL workbench also, so you can use either MySQL workbench or PHP myadmin for creating and doing some administrative work on MySQL databases or MariaDB databases. Okay. So we have some products here. So now the thing is these two tables are related, right? We can see that's why it is called relational database management system, RDBMS, right? Because in this type of database we have relationships between two tables. So the category, because category ID contains many characters here, category name contains many characters here, right? And it will be unnecessary to write all those names again and again. So instead of writing those names, we are just writing their IDs. Okay. So then we have unit price and all. So now today we will use Python Pandas. So again we are connected using Anaconda Navigator here. So we will use Python Pandas, and we will use a method in Pandas called merge method. So this video will have various things involved. First of all, we will connect with MySQL database. Okay. So to connect, first of all let's import all the necessary libraries. So to connect with MySQL database we need import mysql.connector. Okay. So you have
Okay.
to import this library. if you don't have MySQL dot connector and you are getting an error here, so open Anaconda prompt here, okay, not Anaconda navigator, open Anaconda prompt, and in an Anaconda prompt write pip install MySQL dash connector, okay, not MySQL dot connector, here you have to write dash, or we call it hyphen also, okay,
Okay.
or minus. So MySQL hyphen connector, and just hit enter. Make sure you are connected to internet, and it will take some time. In my case, you can see it is telling requirement already satisfied, okay.
Yeah.
That means I already have this library, that's why I did not receive any error here.
Yeah.
But if this library is not there in your case, you will see download starting here, and this library will be installed, okay. So now if you are seeing pip is not recognized as internal or external command, so for that also I have a video on my channel. So if you are receiving that kind of error, so you have to fix your environmental variables,
Environment.
right?
Okay.
So that you can follow from the video on my channel. Otherwise, let's move ahead. So import MySQL.connector. The next library that we want to import is Pandas SPD. So this Pandas SPD will be used to create data frames. But the data frame is not directly available in a CSV file, or it is not directly available in an Excel file, but the data frame is available in this MySQL server, okay. So the data source is this MySQL server table, which is called a MySQL server database, that is called Northwind. So we have to create a connection first, okay. So we will create a variable called connection, and using the library MySQL.connector. So in this library we have a method that is called connect, okay. So MySQL connector.connect, then host is equal to, what is the name of your host, then user is equal to, then password is equal to, and then database is equal to, okay. These are the four parameters that are used to connect any database hosted on any MySQL server. You should have a username and a password. This user should have at least read privileges, okay. Means
Okay.
when we have users assigned to a database, so these users have different type of privileges, like read, write, view, and different type of privileges are there. So you have to make sure at least it should have read privileges, okay. So because we are connected with the local host, and we are connected with XAMPP, so we are connected using XAMPP control panel. So I have many videos on my channel related to installation and usage of XAMPP control panel. So we are connected using XAMPP control panel here, and you can see very clearly that Apache module and MySQL module are running, okay. So now the host in case of XAMPP is localhost, okay. User in case of XAMPP is root, password is a blank, and this is the name of your database. Suppose you are analyzing a database which has a different name, right? So then you will use the name of your database. Let's run this. We are kind of receiving an
I
error.
think
Let's
database.
database has a wrong spelling here. Let's connect again. Now you can see disconnected, okay.
Yes.
Let's try to mention a wrong host. So you will see that it will not get connected, okay. So
Okay.
So if everything is correct, then only it will get connected and you will not see any error here. So now the connection is created. Okay. Now it's time to read the SQL and create the two data frames that we will merge. Okay. And coming back to our discussion, so you saw that in the two tables, in which first table was category, and
Yes.
let's say this is our category table and this is our product table. Okay. So in the two tables we had a common column that is called category ID. Okay. And that is a common column, but we have some common values also, right? Means if category is beverages, so we have some products of beverages. If the category is condiments, so we have some products of condiments, right? Suppose
Yeah.
there can be some categories which do not have any products, right? Getting it or not? There can be
Yeah.
categories which have no assigned products to them. So that is not the common data, right? So this inner join will give us all the common data. Okay, means category has some values, products have some values, but between them only the common data will come in inner join. Now let's say we are considering categories as our left table, so the next type of join is left table, left join. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So in case of left join, we will get all, let's use a different color. So in case of left join, we will get all the data from categories whether or not they have common values in the right table. That means if some category has no products, okay, then also that category will be displayed in the results. Getting it or not?
Yeah.
So if a category has some products, it will get come under the common section. If that category has no products, then it will come under the it will come in the left join. In case of inner join, those categories will not come. Okay. Now, although this is not possible in this case, but let's say there are some products which have no parent categories. Okay, means let's say we have added some products without adding categories. So and if you want to see the data of those products, so for that you have to provide a right join. Okay, I also have a detailed discussion about joins in SQL on my channel, so you can refer to joins in SQL, and I will place the link in the description if you are not familiar with joins. So
Okay.
suppose there are some products that have no parent categories, so those products will not come in inner join and left join, right? But they will come in the right join. And then we, as we have inner join, we have outer join also. Okay, this outer join is kind of used to see all the data, means whether, so if let's say if some category has no products, then you will see null written there in the name of products. If some products have no categories, so you will see null written in the categories column. Okay, null means NaN, right? In pandas we write it like NaN, not a number. Okay, but
Okay.
luckily all the categories are associated with some products in this table, and no product has any vacant category. You can see, right? All the products have valid category IDs. You can see, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All the products have valid, and because we have applied foreign key constraint, so we cannot add products without adding correct category ID. Okay, so now we have made the connection. Now let's create the data frame. So first data frame we will call cat, which is short for categories, and it will be created using pd.read_sql. Okay, what is read underscore SQL? We have to read an SQL query,
Great. Okay.
and this SQL query will be fired in this connection string, right? in this connection. So select star from categories. So what we are saying here is, inside the Northwind database we have a table called categories, and we want this result of this SQL query to be stored inside this variable called cat. Okay, let's run this. We have not got any error. When you will execute it, you will see the data, right?
Yeah.
So this is how your data frame can be created using MySQL data, right? So first of all, so and you saw that how simple it is, right? You can connect to any database which is created using MySQL. Then you can read the tabular data, and now you can apply all the methods that you have studied so far in Python Pandas. You can create graphs and whatever you want to create, right? Similarly, we will create another data frame, and we will call it prod data frame, which is short for products. And here we will simply write select star from product.
Oh,
You can also write a join here, right? Means
okay.
there is an alternate way. Without, if you don't want to use merge, right? If you know SQL join, so you can
Okay.
directly write a join here. But what if this data was given in a CSV file, or what if this data was given in something else than MySQL, right? So in that case, you have to use this merge. Okay. So now we are using select star from products, and now we have this prod data also. So here you can see we have category ID. Just remember the name of this column and the name of this column is same, right?
Yeah.
Although these are columns of two different tables, but the name is same. Sometimes name will not be same, sometimes the name will be same. So we will see all the cases, right? We will see how to deal with such cases. Now we are creating, let's say we are creating a bigger data frame in this case, and this data frame will be joined, right? So let's say cat prod join. So we are naming this data frame as category and product join. Okay. So now we will write
Okay.
pd dot merge. Pd dot merge. Okay. So in pd dot merge, you can see we have to provide two columns or two data frame names here. So first I will write cat, then I will write prod. Okay. And then you can see they are merged. Okay. This is how a very simple solution. And I told you that by default the type of join is inner join. Okay. Means whatever common values are between the given categories and the given products here, if they have some common values, then only they will be joined. And here in this case all the values are valid, means every category has at least one product. So now when you will run this, so you will see a big data frame like this, right? See, so you can see the columns of category table and the columns of the second table are now kind of joined together, are merged together, and we now have a bigger data frame. Okay. Now let's say we want, from this data frame we want to drop some columns. Okay. So let's drop some unnecessary columns. So first thing that we will drop from here is category name. Okay. So in drop we will create a list. Inside that list we will create all these column names. We want the category description. So we don't want these columns, because all we needed was a name here, right? We will also drop category ID. We don't want category ID, we just want category name. Okay, so we have dropped category name, description, and we will drop picture also. So we will drop picture also, and then you have to tell whether the axis is rows or columns. So axis is what in this case? Columns, right? So now you will see all the unnecessary columns are dropped. Okay, and
Yeah. Instead of columns and rows in Axis, we can mention 0 and 1, right?
yeah, actually I dropped category name also, which
Okay.
we actually need category name. Yeah, now it's okay. So now we know that chai belongs to beverages, this chang belongs to beverages, right? This Jack's New England clam chowder, this belongs to a seafood category, because earlier we
Okay.
were able to see only category ID here, right? And it
Yeah.
was, means we cannot tell from this category ID the name of the category, right? But now we can at least tell the name of that category ID. So now we have dropped this. Okay, we will use another parameter here, which is called in place is equal to true. We already know what it means. It means it will make permanent changes in the data frame. Currently, when in place is equal to false, we get output of the data frame, means how it will look. But when you will do in place is equal to true, you will not see the output, but the changes will be made in the data frame itself. So now let's run this, and we don't want to see all this, so we will simply put a head here. So, and inside head let's put a number, let's say 3. So we just want to see a summary. Okay, now you can see. So this is how this merge works. Okay,
Okay.
now the thing is, in this case, because we have only the common values, so in this case let's create another data frame. Okay, so let's say cad prod joined 2, this is second data frame. Here we have some more parameters. Okay, we have two very important parameters in the merge method. First is on and second is how. Okay, so in on you have to provide the name of the column which is common in them, right?
Yeah.
And in how you have to provide what type of join it is, like inner, although we will get the same data here. Okay,
Okay.
we will get the same data here, because you can see we are getting the same data, because this category ID column is common between them, right? You can see we are not seeing the category ID here, right? Getting it?
Yeah.
In the product, actually the category ID column comes after supplier ID, but from here the common column will come only once. Okay, let's remove this, let's remove on, then also you will see, right, the same thing. So what is the use of this on? Now I will keep this thing as written. Now let's create a data frame that we can understand. Okay, so let's say temp. So pd dot data frame, so this is a temp data frame, right? So we are using a dictionary here and we are writing city. Okay, and let's say we have 3 cities. Let's say we have Mumbai, we have Delhi, and we have Chennai. Okay, then we have to put a comma here, This is the first key, and this is the temperature simply. Okay, so let's say the temperature today in Mumbai is 34, and Delhi it's let's say 23, and in Chennai let's say 32. Okay, so is this a valid data frame? I guess it is. So it's a valid data frame. Now let's say someone created a data frame wind. Okay, instead of city, let's say that person wrote location. Okay, instead of although it is a wind data, let's say wind speed was 3, 2 and 5. Okay, wind. So we know that, let's make it a smaller a bit. We know that temperature and wind, right? These are the two data frames which have data about the same cities, isn't it? Right? And let's, okay, so but we know that this city and this location are one and the same thing. Okay, first of all try pd dot merge. What are the name of two data frames? Temp and wind, right? We will get error. Why are we getting error here? Why are we getting error here? Because this temp and this wind, they don't have any common column name in them, right? Values are common, but the name is not. Getting it or not? So here we have two more parameters. First parameter is left underscore on. Okay. What is the left table? Temperature. So left on is city, right? And right
Yeah.
on is what?
Wait.
Location.
Okay.
So the column name city and the column name location. So
Okay.
in left we have city, in right we have location, right? Getting it or not?
Yes.
So now these two data frames are joined, right? And the type of join in this case is inner join. Okay, because we have the same common columns.
Okay.
Now I will do one more thing here. I will add a new city here. Let's say Lucknow. Okay, and let's say the temperature of Lucknow is 29, and I will add a new city here. Let's say Bengaluru. Okay, and the temperature is 9 and the wind speed is 7. So first of all I have to update it, and second of all I have to update this, then we will do this. Okay, so why are we not seeing Bengaluru? Why are not we not seeing Lucknow? Because the type of join by default is inner join. Okay,
Okay.
because how how have we joined this? Inner, which is default, right? So because it is an inner join, we are only seeing the common values. What are the common values between these two data frames? Just look at it, right? So those students who do not understand this, we will take a screenshot, copy, okay. So we have two data frames. Okay? One is this and second is this. Let's get rid of other things. Let's zoom it a little bit. So here you can see let's check common. Mumbai check, Delhi check, Chennai check, Lucknow, Bengaluru, right? So
Yep.
in the left table, this is L, this is R.
Or
In the left table, we have Lucknow, and in the right table, we have Bengaluru.
Bangalore.
Okay, which is not common. So if you want to
Yep.
see the data of Lucknow also, okay, so you have to do what? You have to write
Left join.
how is equal to left. Okay, then you
Okay.
will see Lucknow, but because Lucknow has no information about location and wind, okay,
Good.
that's why we are seeing NAN here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
clear?
Yeah.
Similarly, if you want to see the data of Bengaluru, then what you will do?
Right.
You will write
Right.
right. Okay. So now what is there? You are not seeing the data about Bengaluru
City and
city and temperature because we don't have any information about that, right?
yeah.
Now let's do one more thing. Remember, in all of these cases, we are getting 4 rows only, right? But how is equal to outer? Let's write outer. Then you will see 5 rows. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. So in case of Lucknow, we are getting NAN. In case of this, we are getting NAN. Now let's come back to our previous diagrams. Now you will understand this, right?
Yeah.
Getting it? So
Yep.
in case of inner join, we have this, right? Uh, where is inner join? I think I over written it, but you got the concept, right? In case of inner join, you will get only data of common values only.
Common one. Okay.
In case of left join, you will get the data of
Combined values
all
and
the
left
columns,
side.
all the columns from the left table is all the values from the left table, and if those values are not present in the right table, so you will get NA. Okay. Similarly, this is right join. Here we are seeing Bengaluru but not Lucknow, and this is the outer join where we are seeing all the data. You can see all the data, and when the data is not there, you will see NAN. I think you got the concept. I think you understood how merge in Python Pandas work, right?
Yeah.
We we did it with something additional, that is connecting it with MySQL connector, because when we work on live projects, so most of the times um, those websites are developed in either PostgreSQL database or MySQL database or MSSQL database. Okay, means many times we these trading companies, if they want to analyze their data, so these trading companies have their ERPs developed, right? They have their ERPs, and sometimes their ERP is developed in SQL Server. Sometimes their ERP is developed using MySQL database. So we don't know exactly in which format we will get the database. But
Yeah.
luckily with Python, we have all the libraries, and you can see only the connection part is different. You have to understand, right?
Okay.
Only the libraries and the connection part is different for different SQL sources. But the other part means once you have created the data frame, then the other process is same, right?
Yeah.
So I suggest you to go ahead, try these things, and for those people who are viewing it on YouTube, so you can ask me about this data set if you don't have it. So I will share the link from where you can ask me or from where you can get this data set. So that's it for today.